Most Hong Kong graduates value professional certifications over postgraduate degrees, with 62% considering qualifications more critical for career progression. To break down what this means, Richard Roper of Mercer Hong Kong and Macau and Grace Young of CFA Institute discussed this on the program. Richard and Grace, glad to have you here. First off, Richard, I'd start with you. With many graduates using AI in job applications, how do employers actually differentiate between candidates?
It's a great question. Thank you for having me on the show. There's no doubt that CVs and applications have got much better with the advent of AI. It's very rare now we don't see an application that's perfectly matched with a job spec. But that really only gets the candidate to the interview, and then human skills can be exposed. I think AI is replacing the routine, so human skills become more and more in the spotlight. And that is what is tested at interview. And if the candidate has relied solely on AI and hasn't got any skills to back that up, then that is really exposed. I mean, what we're looking for is communication, critical thinking, and influencing skills. And it won't be a surprise to you that Mercer has got some products which assess those type of skills. So really, at the end of the day, I think from my perspective, if candidates remember the 3 A's: authenticity, adaptability, and the ability to act on the information that AI provides is what employees are looking for these days.
And Grace, same thoughts and same question I want to ask you. How are employers now differentiating between candidates, especially as many are using AI in job applications?
Thank you for having me here. And indeed, that is correct. Nowadays, almost all the graduates are very, very good about AI. And as a result, employers are very keen to understand actually the application of AI, the ability to understand critically the result of the AI, and also very important about the interpersonal skills as well. At the same time, the employers are focusing on the practical skills, meaning that do the candidates and also do the graduates have relevant experiences. Here at CFA Institute, we focus on the practical skills and also the application. And that's why since 3 years ago in 2023, we have already incorporated the practical skills module into our curriculum so that the candidates can better prepare themselves for the future job roles.
And speaking of skills, Grace, I want to ask you first, why are interpersonal skills now ranked above technical and AI skills as a competitive advantage, especially during the hiring process?
Great question. Our research do indicate that actually candidates and also the graduates know that AI is actually a must, is a baseline. So to give them a competitive edge, the important thing is about interpersonal skills. So AI is just the technology. The important thing is actually how to analyze the judgment and also the result and put something of value to the investors. And especially in finance, trust is actually the foundation. Ethics is paramount to everything. As a result, it's so important to have the interpersonal skills, the ability to actually analyze the AI output, and also empathy, communications, etc.
And Richard, how are interpersonal skills still very much important, especially with the advent of technology replacing so many human tasks?
Yeah, I think so. Grace nailed it really. I mean, AI is the baseline. It's everything else that's starting to become more and more important. I mean, what we're looking for is the ability to work in a matrixed environment. How candidates can demonstrate that they can influence people, building trust in a difficult environment. Organizations are changing as well, so organizations are much flatter than they used to be. So early career employees need to work out how to make an impact quickly with perhaps those learning structures that weren't there before. So AI skills are the baseline, and then interpretation and communication of those skills are key to take things forward. And that's how candidates and early career employees can differentiate themselves.
I see. And now, Richard, does the high local confidence among Hong Kong graduates reflect real opportunities, or are they underestimating the market?
Well, first of all, it's great that graduates have got confidence. Hong Kong's gone through some difficult times, so I'm really buoyed by the fact that graduates are confident. I wouldn't call it overconfident. I think they're very attuned to what's happening in the market and see the opportunities that are there. What I would say is that it's a big opportunity, but early career roles are a lot more demanding than they were before. And we Mercer have identified what we call the sort of the early career paradox where expectations are high, but the structures are not there and the learning opportunities perhaps aren't there to get the candidates to that level. So there's quite a big gap between what we're looking for and what candidates may first come into the role with. So I think the onus is on the organisations to make sure that our structures are in place to help people to get to that increased level of competency, and to stay engaged as well. People are very jumpy in employment. So the onus is an employer to make it interesting, rewarding, and provide the tools for people to jump very quickly to those more sophisticated roles and communicate and have an impact on the organisation as soon as possible.
And Grace, very briefly, same question. How does this high local confidence reflect on real opportunity for Hong Kong graduates?
Thank you. Indeed, actually, Hong Kong graduates are very confident, but I would say that this is not overconfident. And actually, it's backed up the market data and also some facts to note. To give you two pieces of important information. The first one is that actually the Hong Kong stock market ranks actually top one last year in terms of IPO by fund raised. And the second thing is in terms of market research. Hong Kong actually ranked 3 in terms of the global financial center and first in Asia Pacific. So we do see that there are so many finance opportunities in terms of prospect, etc. in Hong Kong. As a result, the confidence in actually Hong Kong graduates are well supported by the market data, the intelligence, etc. Having said that, an overly very, very promising fact is that we have over 90% of the graduates are thinking about coming back to Hong Kong for those who study abroad. At the same time, we do see that about 2/3 of them do agree having a professional certifications actually add more value than actually having a degree in itself. And why is that the case? Obviously, it's because they know that in the tech AI competent world, what differentiates themselves is actually their professional skills, etc. And that's why in our certificates at CFA Institute, we emphasize so much about the usability, the job readiness, the desk readiness. And that's exactly what we built into our programming as our curriculum. So for that, I would say that actually getting a professional certification gives candidates a very good comparative edge. At the same time, it also reflects that they know what's going on the latest in the market. They know what the employers are looking for. And at the same time, the employers also highly embrace that.
Grace, Richard, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us today. Really great discussion on the AI and job market in Hong Kong.
Thank you very much.
Again, those were Richard Roper, President at Mercer Hong Kong and Macau, and Grace Yung, Senior Director for Exam Development at CFA Institute. For more news, visit hongkongbusiness.hk.